This one's kind of fun. I like to challenge myself sometimes, right? Just grammatically, creatively. And so I thought, can I write a poem that's just one sentence? One really long, run-on sentence. Really, really long, right?
Bring it on, William Faulkner.
I know, right? So I think I did. And this one's called Hair. But it's kind of, it's apropos today. Some of us were at a funeral earlier today for a beautiful sister. Oh my goodness, just learning about her was amazing. Sister Frost, if you know who she was, if you know Darren Frost, if you know Ryan Frost, their mother. And it was just so interesting. Well, as an aside, she had a son who died after 14 days, right? Is that right? And when people were speaking, I thought to myself, the first person I bet she's talking to is Lane, is that young boy who died after 14 days. And then Darren Frost got up and said that, and then his sister, and I was like, oh, that's confirmation. That's kind of a beautiful moment, right? They have a lot of catching up to do. And I just thought that was beautiful to think about. And just thought about the people left behind and what were they doing? What were they thinking about their grandmother or great-grandmother or mother gone now to the other side waiting for them. But that whole experience is apropos to this poem called, you might have to do this, called Hair. Is something you keep in a locket to remember that girl who wound your heart tighter than a clock, to wake you up for that first morning saying, hello, sunshine. Then fingers flex, pulling on hair floss to cut your gums like a switchblade. Then ropes of muscle posing for the affection of a girl whose hair you want to place in a locket so as to keep a piece of her. Her locked in a gold-plated box where her picture and DNA will forever reside, till found by her great-granddaughter in the attic, with no light on where her grandmother used to live till yesterday. And now she's curious about her roots, and she climbed up those loosely nailed ladder steps, up the trunk of her grandma's old house that smelled like sycamore leaves fallen from November rain, like sycamore leaves that fell like grandma. But she wants to discover her branches, so she's digging through old trunks and costume jewelry Grandma wore when she met Grandpa. And she was shining like a new quarter flashing on the pavement. And old hats Grandma used to wear to cover her head when even prayers were said, to remind her that she still had her hair that Grandpa fell in love with that first time. And old wigs Grandma stopped wearing after Grandpa died, because there was no more point to having beautiful hair when the beautiful man who called her beautiful passed on to that beautiful place where her grandma now resided. And all that old stuff was beautiful to the granddaughter who came across that piece of great-grandma that was mummified, museumized by time and forgetfulness. Because there are some things that we value so much that we forget about them, like an old locket hidden in the treehouse of our children's family trees, filled with the split ends of hair he captured from a sweet possession while she brushed her hair 80 times before bed, so that it would always be shining and full and flowing for him, as though she was his pony, waiting to ride after 80 strokes, because her womanness was not in her dress, but grew from out of her mind, and was displayed in private moonlight, and wound tight during the daylight, like an old alarm clock, waiting to wake you up on that first morning, screaming, hello, sunshine.